To be honest, I'm not really sure. I think we're gonna try to take a couple more visits, but I'll start basketball season pretty soon, so we're gonna have to work around that. And then the Polynesian Bowl is coming up too, so that'll take another week out. So honestly, we'll just have to see how everything shapes up.
Do you trim your schools at all? Are you still kind of focused on the group you focused on?
Yes, sir. I still say it's the schools that I took officials to, so Bama, USC, Georgia, and Texas.
With Texas, what was it about them that got you interested?
I'm excited to see what they're doing. Under Coach Sark, their offense is really producing. They're producing explosive plays. And then I have a really good relationships with a bunch of guys in those classes. I feel like I have a really good relationship with Coach Banks and Coach Sark, so I think playing for that program will be a lot of fun.
Obviously, I know Arch Manning was a big factor in that. How close are you and Arch, and how often does he bug you about joining?
For the most part, we just text about life, about how we're doing, but every once in a while, he'll just ask me where I'm at in the process. But we text consistently, probably once or twice a week.
That's a relationship that's surprisingly kind of hit off, right?
For sure. Anytime we're together, we really enjoy spending time with each other, and I think it would be a lot of fun to catch passes from him.
I know what has changed, or has anything changed for you with Georgia since you took the official couple months ago?
To be honest, the official really boosted them. Just feeling, because you take unofficials and everything over the summer to these workouts and stuff, but a lot of times the guys are gone, or they're not really practicing or anything. So to feel that culture in the locker room, that atmosphere. Those guys really love each other. They really care about each other. I think Coach Smart he's created that culture to where those guys they're selfless. They're not playing for themselves. They're playing for each other.
You took your official visit to USC in June, and you haven't been back there. Has the interest in USC kind of waned a little bit, or where do things stand with USC?
No, I still love USC. That's probably the class I'm closest with in terms of relationships that I have with guys. I've been super close to Coach Riley since his time at OU. It'd be a lot of fun to play for him. So I still, USC is still really, really high on my list.
Potential unofficial visit there?
Yeah, that's one of the schools we're really trying to get back down to, because we haven't been down there in a while, and we weren't able to get to a game or anything. We're trying to get down there again.
What other schools are you considering unofficials to?
The only other one, we're trying to get to as many schools as possible out of those four, and then possibly Oregon, but we'll see how everything works out there. I really enjoy Coach Lanning and Coach Maringer. I really like what they're doing with that program, but we'll see how everything shakes out in terms of being able to get up there for a visit.
How big of a factor is baseball for you when you're making this decision?
I want to play both sports professionally, so I think we've narrowed it down to schools that these coaches have proven that they can do it, that they've done it before with kids, and we're trying to find the school where I can get developed in both sports to be a major athlete in both sports.
What's the relationship like with Coach Pierce at Texas and the new facility they're building there for baseball and all that? What was your impression of that program?
Coach Pierce and Coach Rodriguez, what they do it's incredible. Texas is a top 10 team in the country every single year. They're disappointed if they don't make it to Omaha. Being able to build our relationship with those coaches, I really enjoy speaking to them, and it would be a lot of fun to play for them.
Are there any baseball coaches, just programs that have really stood out and given some of the football programs a little bit of an edge?
So it's actually funny. All three of those schools, besides USC, all the baseball programs actually offered me before football. I think that was pretty big to me when eliminating a lot of these schools, because I don't want to go somewhere where it's football is taking me and then baseball just has to take me because football is telling them. So I think by those schools you know, not even knowing that I was a football guy when at the time that they had offered me. It means a lot, and it means that they truly want me as a player, not just as an athlete. You know, they want me as a baseball player.
You've been able to develop a relationship with the new USC baseball staff.
Yeah, so Coach Stank, when he was at GCU before USC, and we had started to build our relationship there, and now it's continuing at USC. So we already have a really strong relationship.
How much is NIL a factor, baseball, football combined? Is that something that's even in, because obviously NIL can get creative with baseball where everybody thinks about football right now. How much is that a part of your process?
Not super big. You know, the goal is to make it to an NFL contract. So, you know, while NIL is definitely prevalent right now, and you can use it to set up your life, you know, beyond college. So we're definitely looking at it, but we're not going to go to a school because of NIL though.
Tight end, receiver, which schools have given you a really attractive package about what you could all do for them?
I think all these schools. That was another big reason we narrowed it down to all these schools. You know, I want to be a playmaker, so however they may call me or whatever they may call me, you know, tight end, receiver, whatever. I just want to make plays. I want to score touchdowns. I want to win games. So I think we've narrowed it down to a select few schools that we believe will give me the best chance to make plays, and hopefully everything works out for the best.
Traditional February 1 decision, is that the finish line, or could it go deeper than that?
Honestly, I can't tell you. You know, we're just gonna see how everything goes, and whenever the time feels right, you know, we'll just announce.
Are you watching these schools you're considering during bowl season still, and looking at what they're doing? Texas plays tonight. Any plans to watch them?
For sure. We've been trying to watch as many bowl games as possible. You know, bowl games aren't going to make or break a team, of course. But no, we've really, you know, we've just enjoyed watching all these schools.
What is it about Alabama that has them in that mix, though?
You know, Alabama's Alabama. It feels like, you know, if you want to be a guy who makes it to the NFL, they've got a proven path of getting kids into the NFL, especially young. You know, they've got a path where guys can make it to the NFL in 3 or 4 years, and so, you know, it's a factory.
You said USC is the group of commits or signees now are guys you're close with. Who are some of the guys that you did develop relationships with?
All the guys that are here right now, you know.
You ready for them this week?
Yes, sir. We're excited to play each other because I think all of them are on the other team, but I'm excited to see them. But yeah, you know, Zach, Malachi, Makai, all those guys are the guys I spent the most amount of time with on my visits. I've talked to the most, so it's been a lot of fun developing relationships with them.
DUCE with Georgia, is your connection there? Is it Hartley? Is it Monken? Is it Smart? Is it a gumbo with those?
So for the most part, it's Coach Hartley. I talk to Coach Smart every once in a while, and then you know, Coach Monken. He's not a huge technology guy. He's just a football guy. But no, I would say for the most part it's Coach Hartley. But yes, sir.
What do you like best about Georgia? What's the number one thing that has your eye?
Just how much those guys loved each other. You know, that really stood out to me throughout the tight end room and throughout the whole, you know, the whole program. Is those guys really truly care for each other. They want to see each other succeed. You know, they're not working towards personal goals. They're working towards a team collective, which is why I think they've been so successful these past couple years.
What's that relationship like with Joe Cox from Alabama?
You know, Coach Cox he's great. You know, I think he's another one of the top tight end coaches in the country. I know he's still super young and up and coming, but I think he really cares for his guys. He really loves his guys, and he's teaching them, you know, all the right things on how to be successful.
You see how Georgia's used Brock Bowers over the last few years. What do you feel about that? They got 2 guys committed in the class already, but you know, just seeing how he's kind of being that guy that they can use as a running back. Do you see yourself kind of doing some stuff like that in the future?
I hope so. You know, they're using Brock. They're finding creative ways to use Brock as a playmaker. And as I said before, I want to be a playmaker. So, and in terms of, you know, their scheme, they're looking for ways to get, you know, 12 or 13 personnel on the field. And I think all of their tight ends complement each other very well. You know, they don't have two guys that are the same exact tight end, which is why they're able to use, you know, so many tight ends on the field at one time. So if I were to go to Georgia, you know, I think all of us are a little bit different in our own unique ways. So I think we could all, you know, complement each other very well and play to our strengths and weaknesses. You know, what one of our weaknesses may be, another guy's strength may be, and then vice versa.
What does USC offer you as a student athlete that would ultimately lead you to sign there?
You know, USC, they have a tradition of being one of the greatest schools in the country. So I think a degree from USC sets you up for life. I think a degree from any of these schools would set you up for life. But then they have so many connections, you know, beyond football. They've got so many alumni there who, you know, I feel as if, you know, if you go to USC, you have no choice but to be successful in life.
What do you think is the most important criteria for you when you look at the biggest box that needs to be checked? What is it?
That's a good question. You know, I think relationship. I'm a big relationship person. So seeing that relationship between, you know, coaches and players, between players, players and recruits, between the own players. You know, I think relationships probably the most important piece of everything, because relationships control everything we do as humans. So I think I would probably say relationships.
With Texas, what do you